funny how plans change. We were originally planning on doing the PCT and finishing up the stretch that we hadn't done before. But then, probably about a month before we were about to get on the trail, I found out that I had skin cancer. And it took me about 4 weeks to recover from that, which pushed our actual trail date up a bit. And then right before we were about ready to go, the state of California decided to catch fire. There's probably about 20% of the trail we were going to do is on fire right now. So rather than fighting with logistics and then having to come back again anyway to do the stretches that are closed by the fire, we decided to wing it, go do the Colorado Trail. It's around 9 o'clock and it's already about 80 degrees. Pretty toasty out here. First 6 miles is a road walk, and while there's some shade, it's pretty exposed. That heat is no joke. Decided to pull up in a little shady spot and kind of take an hour nap or so, but we're gonna have to push on to the water. It's only gonna get hotter from here. It's supposed to be like 95 today. Well, I'm a little disappointed. We only made it as far as about Bear Creek, so about 9 miles. But between the heat and the elevation, it really did a number on me. So I thought it was best to do an easy day today, maybe an easy day tomorrow, and hope that I acclimatize to the altitude and the heat. It's supposed to be another scorcher tomorrow, somewhere in like the 99 area. That's going to be fun. We're hopefully going to get up really early in the morning and try and get some miles in so that we can kind of just hide out in the afternoon. Day 2. It's going to be another hot one today. So, got out of camp at 6. We're going to try and get as many miles in as we can before it gets too hot. We're going to lay low during the heat of the day. Maybe get a few more miles after it cools down. I underestimated the combination of the elevation and the heat. This trail's kicking my butt so far. Supposed to be 99 today, and I know that's in Denver, but still going to be pretty toasty. And after the next water source here in about 4 miles, we got a 13 point some mile carry through a burn area that's pretty exposed. I think what we're going to do is pretty much just hang out at the water source until like 7 or 8 when it gets cool, and then we're going to night hike a bit. Then should make things a little easier getting over that stretch, and I won't feel quite so bad about doing another 8-ish mile day. Well, we spent a couple hours down by the riverside. It's nice and cool down there. We let the heat of the day pass by, but we want to get moving while there's still some daylight and get into some of this next water carry. And it's kind of funny, on the PCT we saw a lot longer water carries than 10 miles, but whew. We did manage to get about 12 miles today, which brings us back up to about 20 miles. We were hoping to do about 10-mile days, but we only got an 8 the first day because of the heat and the elevation. It's getting a little easier, but that last little stretch up over the burn area was pretty brutal. We've got about another 6 miles to the next water source, and we'll just keep on going from there. Day 3. Every day, a little bit better. Still been pretty toasty. Still getting up early to beat the heat. But we're doing a little better. I definitely miss my trail legs though. Can't wait for them to come back. Well, I wussed out. We're decided to do the 3-mile road walk into town so that I could kind of change out my food. I've been dealing with a lot of nausea since we've started the trail, and I think part of it is just what I have to eat is I packed the wrong stuff, and definitely didn't plan on this heat, so I don't want to eat the things I do have. But hey, at least I'll be able to go get a Pepsi. Pepsi and a car show. We managed to supplement our food at Buffalo Creek, and now we're going to try and get a hitch back to the trail. Well, the gut hook comments that it was an easy hitch were false. Haven't had any luck, so we're making the 2-mile, 1,000-foot climb back to the trail. Done with the road walk and back on trail. We're gonna aim for another 4 miles to the next water source and probably find a place to camp. So end of day 3. We passed into section 3 here. We're going to try and get an early start in the morning because we've heard that the mountain bikers are pretty bad on the weekends, and it's coming up on Friday, and we want to get out of the section before we have to worry about dodging them. But only 10 miles on trail, but we did wind up doing an extra 4 to 6 to get into town and back. So all in all, not a bad day's hiking. Almost 16 miles. Day 4. We're trying to move a little fast so we can get through section 3 before the weekend. Apparently the first 3 sections are really big for mountain bikers, so we don't want to spend the whole time looking to dodge people whipping around us. We actually camped with a couple of bike packers last night. They told us that there was a race going on and that mountain bikers were racing from Durango to Denver, and actually the first place finisher just came through yesterday, so we should be seeing them as they come along. But let's get going.
Trail magic. Found it on the ground.
Well, it's trail magic for us and trail wrath for whoever lost it.
Yeah, it's all warm. Gooey. Mine. This is lunchtime.
Went from sunny and way too hot to completely drenched in about 2 minutes. Had fun setting the camp up. Well, I am now sitting on my sleeping pad, a sole island in a pond, inside my tent. Don't know exactly what happened, but some of the seams where it's supposed to be sealed decided they were going to start leaking, and we had a big old thunderstorm and a bunch of rain come through, and my tent is soaked. So we are going to try and get down to Bailey tomorrow and maybe see what I can do to patch this tent or see what I'm going to do, but at this point I'm not 100% certain what we're going to do. Well, I'll see you in the morning. So we've been dealing with heat, nausea, exhaustion, elevation, and things were just starting to get good, and then the skies opened up and it monsooned, and I did not expect the quickness at which it came on, so I didn't get my rain gear on in time and my hiking clothes were all soaked. Then my tent decided to fail while it was thundering and lightning and pouring down rain, and flooded my tent, soaked everything in my tent except for my sleeping bag and my sleep clothes. So we're on our way back down to Bailey. We are going to take a day off, try and dry everything out. I got to figure out something to do with my tent because I can't trust my tent. I can't do this hike. But yeah, day 4 and I already want to quit this thing. I never felt this way on the PCT, but this has just been rough. Well, after that last night, it was bad. We had a 4 or 5 hour thunderstorm overhead. It was pouring buckets, and then my tent decided to leak. And I was basically sitting in a puddle on my sleeping pad, and everything in my tent other than my sleeping bag and my sleep clothes got wet. So we came down into town, into Bailey. It's actually a little small community down here. We're staying at Linwood Hostel, We dried our clothes off, we took a shower, had some town food, but you know what? This trail has really been beating us hard. It's hard. I really don't know. It's like 4 days in and I feel like I'm ready to throw in the towel. But I think what the goal is tonight is we're going to get on trail tomorrow because it looks like the weather's going to break a little bit, and then we are going to go to try and make it to Breckenridge, so another 6 days on the trail, and from there we'll reassess. I'm going to have to wind up replacing my tent because I tried patching it with some tenacious tape and the Dyneema repair stuff that they had, but I don't trust it long term if I'm going to be actually out here. But you know, we just need to see if we want to keep going here or not. Day 5. Well, feeling a little better today. I'd originally thought I was going to wind up having to sleep in one of these campsites in the rain, but it turns out one of the rooms in the bunkhouse actually opened up and we were able to get inside, which was really nice. I'm still not feeling 100%, but we're gonna get back on trail anyway and keep going and seeing how this trail treats us. Finally, back to positive miles. We only spent a day in Bailey, but still was technically a negative day because we did negative 2.7 miles, 1,000 feet down. So we went up 1,000 feet in the blazing sun, rode out a thunderstorm on top, came down in the rain, and then we came up today. It's like 85% humidity. This trail's weather is just so freaking bizarre. But I am definitely feeling a lot stronger today. You know, they say the trail provides. And to me, it's always seen a little cliche. It does, and then sometimes it doesn't, but we were probably at our lowest point that we have ever been on a trail before on Friday. And sitting in a wet tent as it leaked and a thunderstorm raged overhead. And we get down to a little tiny community, not even a town, and they don't have any lodging for us except a campsite. So we're out there sitting in our tent in the rain. I mean, at least we got to dry our clothes and stuff, but we were really kind of down. Then the owner came up and said, hey, there's a couple rooms in the hostel if you want to have a dry night instead of a wet night. And then, you know, we come out here, the weather's nice and cool. My body seems to have adjusted to the altitude. I'm up here at like 10,000 feet and not working at all. And then we come through this like amazing glacial valley. I'm assuming that's what it is. But it's just, I don't know. I really needed a pick-me-up today, and trail provided one for me. So I guess, yeah, trail provides sometimes. Well, almost a 15-mile day, and on top of that, we are at 10,900 feet. All in all, and I'd say it's a pretty successful day today. Don't know exactly what the plan is going forward. We're going to be attempting 15-mile days so that we can get to Breckenridge in like 3 more days. And then I'm going to probably try and take a Nero or Zero and see what I can do about replacing the tent that I have, because it's just not going to work in this weather. I'll see you in the morning. Day 6. Hoping to get to Kenosha Pass today. About 16.9 miles. If we do that, that'll pull us up so that 15-mile days will take us to Breckenridge in 3 days from today. It was an easy day yesterday, a little sore today, but feeling good. Hopefully it'll be an easy day today. We're racing the rain to Kenosha Pass. Only got about 4 miles left. That's where we're gonna camp tonight. I've noticed that with the Colorado Trail, it seems like there's a lot of hiking and then waiting, and then hiking and then waiting. If it's hot, you're waiting for the heat of the day to go by so you can keep going. If it's raining, you're waiting for the rain. You can be waiting for the thunderstorms. So our goal has been the last few days to get up really early and try and get the most mileage in we can before we have to wait, and then kind of finish up later in the evening. But it's actually been working pretty well. We're doing a 16.7 mile day today, and we'll be done by 3 o'clock, hopefully. Day 7. Another monsoon last night. Tent held up a little better since I patched it, but it's still condensing. Definitely need to replace it when we get into town. We are doing our first real pass today, climbing up 3,000 feet. We've got 11 miles to race before the thunderstorms come in, because it's another 3-mile exposed bit while we're up there at like 12,000 feet. We're at the top. Yay. Well, that was fun. We are now kind of doing a change of plans again. We had originally planned on getting into Breckenridge 2 days from now, but since it's a 9-mile downhill, we're just gonna do a 20 today. We'll be in at Breckenridge tomorrow. Take a 0, have a bathtub, clean laundry, lots of food. Looking forward to it. Day 8. Gonna hit 100 miles today and get into town. You know, normally it's all about getting into town, getting that town food, but today it's all about doing some laundry, taking a shower, and laying down in a room that's not wet.